Wow, what a game was that to come back to.
Hey everyone, it is Ben back again, and the Habs win. What are you still doing here? You were supposed to be gone.
Yes! Yes! Yeah!
Because if not, they're gonna get blown away.
The cannon. It just kept firing.
I am excited. Hello everybody, it is Ben back again, and holy crap, that was a hell of a game to be the first one I've watched like fully in a while. That was a bit of a roller coaster, but let's get right into it. Watching from the beginning, Habs got me real excited early on, came out flying against the Jets. They were pressuring them early, and I was like, okay, this is great, keep this going, perfect. But then a familiar thing happened. The Habs took a penalty and gave up a goal on it. Patrick Laine getting the power play goal for the Winnipeg Jets fairly early on in the first period. I'm like, great. This is how we're going to start. Again. Thought we were turning a corner, boys. Come on. But my sorrow wouldn't last too long because the Habs themselves got a power play, and with about 40 seconds left in the first period, Andrew Shaw deflects the Jonathan Drouin shot to get his first on the night and tie the game up before the end of the first. So great play by Shaw, and we go into the first intermission tied 1-1 with the Habs outshooting the Jets 17-8. So Habs had a good period, probably deserved a little more out of it than that, but going into the second period tied 1-1. All right. And early on in the second, again, the Habs get a power play, and Shaw just banging away in front of the net, eventually puts it in, puts the Habs up 2-1. 2 goals in the night for Shaw, which I think was the first time he's ever had a 2-goal night. So great night out of him. I was excited. I was like, yes, all right, let's keep it going. But then towards the end of the second period, on a play where Chris Tanev goes behind the Habs net for the Jets, and then both Shea Weber and Victor Mete went to cover him, but then they kind of forgot about the whole thing where one of them has to cover the front of the net, and then Cobb was just there open because there was nobody covering the front of the net. So they got it out to Cobb for the one-timer, and the Jets tied it 2-2. Shots in the second were 16-4 in favor of Montreal. So again, it was frustrating because it was like, how are we not doing better than this? Well, we go into the third, and this is when things start to look like they're going badly for the Habs because Nikolai Ehlers early on gets a laser beam of a shot off, puts it past Montoya, and a few of the guys on the ice, like Jordy Ben, started skating away. The puck is like, oh, it just went off the crossbar. No, it went off the back bar. But anyway, Nikolai Ehlers scores it to make it 3-2. A little while after, Blake Wheeler just puts on the Jets and basically breaks Jeff Petry's ankle as Jeff Petry just stumbles down on the ice. Wheeler goes around him, does a deke around Montoya, puts it home, and puts the Jets up 4-2. And normally, this season, I would get discouraged by that. But with the way the Habs are playing, I was like, you know what? They're going to come back. They're going to come back to win this. They've been playing too well. They're gonna push through this. It was the first time I ever had confidence in this team, basically all year. And Plekanec scores with a snipe of his own. Nice shot by him. And I'm like, all right, let's keep it going. And then Petry does his best with about 4 minutes left. He does his best to make up for the blown tire earlier in the game, and also to make up for the mustache he's growing for Movember, because that's something special as well. And he scores a goal to tie it up after some chaos in the Winnipeg end, squirts out from the crease up to the point, and he just puts it home, ties the game up. It's 4-4, and the Habs have actually completed a comeback for like first time this season, I think. Shots ended up being 13-8 Montreal in the third period, but the game would be tied, so we would go to overtime, at which point, a little ways in, I think it's about 3 or so minutes in, Tyler Myers lays a pretty bad cross-check on, I can't remember who he cross-checked, but it was a bad cross-check, and on that ensuing power play, Max Pacioretty gets the one-timer OT winner, and the celebration he had was just fantastic, like, just dancing like, yes! And then, oh, it was just great, and I was so excited about that game. It was a hell of a game, like I said, to be the first one I've watched in a few games. Final shots ended up being 50-23 in favor of Montreal, which is just ridiculous in itself. But the thing about this game is it felt like the Habs were finally just getting some puck luck that they hadn't had all season. It finally seemed like they were getting some bounces and some breaks, and it felt so good for it to finally happen. Next up, we have Chicago tonight, which is going to be a tough test. That's in about 3 hours. I don't know if I'll probably be getting this video like up as that game is happening. That's in 3 hours. Hopefully they'll be up to this test too. Seem to be working on turning a corner. Like they seem to be building themselves up again, and this come from behind win an OT might help a lot in doing that. But I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. Anyway, until next time, I'll see you guys later.